The movie starts with Geppetto visiting his dead son's grave. He lost his son during the Great War, and we see Geppetto's memory where Carlo playing a swing outside and he sees plane and run back into the house and told Geppetto that he saw some planes. Carlo being a kid interrupts his father to see what he's been making, and Geppetto told him to have patience. We see a lot of good memories of them together. Geppetto told Carlo a story about a witch who warns a little boy to tell the truth. Otherwise his nose will grow longer and longer if he continues telling lies. Him and Carlo used to collect a tree seed and plant them. Geppetto used to tell him that, if one piece of the scale is missing from the seed it will never grow. So Carlo will find the perfect seed. Geppetto is a woodworker at the church, who got the contract of making the crucifix. Every day he goes up to town to get to the church. Everybody loves Geppetto and Carlo. He is well respected. Him and Carlo always spends their day working at the church. One day, Geppetto was working on the crucifix and asked Carlo to bring him a red color for the blood of Jesus. Carlo found the color and put the color into the bucket for Geppetto to pull up. And Carlo remembered something and put something else in the bucket. When Geppetto looks inside the bucket he saw a perfect seed of a tree. Carlo found the perfect seed with all its scales on it. They were cheering when they heard the sound of a plane and bomb. Quickly they packed everything and leave the church. But Carlo forgot the seed inside the church, so he run back in the church. When he was looking for the seed, a bomb dropped directly into the church and Carlo got killed. Geppetto found the seed and planted the seed to remember him. The world moved on but the father didn't. And we found out that we see the movie through this writer/a cricket, who's been searching for a place to stay and finish his writing peacefully. And he found the tree that Geppetto planted. He got settled there. That's when he heard Geppetto crying under the tree, drinking his sorrow out. He chopped the tree down while yelling, "I will make Carlo again." Took a piece of wood to his house and started carving the wood into a Carlo look-alike. And he got so tired and drunk that he stopped the work and fall asleep. While all of this going down, the cricket was watching his home get destroyed. After he fall asleep, a spirit revealed itself and gave the wooden boy a life, so that Geppetto will be happy again. She told the wooden boy to be like a son to the old man, and she called him Pinocchio. And she gave a responsibility to the cricket to look over to him and to guide him. And if he finished the job successfully she will grant him a wish. The next morning, Geppetto woke up from the ground he was sleeping on, and found out that the wooden boy is alive and calling him Papa. Confused by what happened, Geppetto locked Pinocchio in a small room, and goes to church. Pinocchio breaks the door and follows Geppetto to the church. Everybody in the church saw Pinocchio and said he is the devil. Pinocchio yelled back at the congregation saying he is a real boy, and his nose got longer. The more he lies the longer his nose becomes. Geppetto took him back to the house where he shaped his nose back to normal. The army general and the pastor visited Geppetto at his home to discuss about Pinocchio and said he should send Pinocchio to school. The next day when Geppetto and the boy are walking up to the church, a circus monkey saw the boy and told to the circus owner about him. Waiting for the best time to meet with the boy, they found him when he is going to the school, and told him he can become the star of the town. Everybody will bow at his feet. But deep down, the owner wants to grow his pocket. So Pinocchio signed the paperwork to be the part of the circus. The general visited Geppetto at the church and told him that Pinocchio was absent at school. Geppetto went out looking for him and found him doing a puppet show. Geppetto got mad and snatched Pinocchio off the stage. They argued and Pinocchio lied about the situation and his nose grow again. And the circus owner and Geppetto fights over Pinocchio's ownership and they dropped him in the middle of the road. And he got run over by a truck. In the afterlife, Pinocchio wakes up and found 4 rabbits playing card. The rabbits told him to go through the big door. He goes through the door and found another spirit who told him that the spirit that gave him the life was her sister. And Pinocchio can't die. And she sent him back to the land of the living. His father and the general were sad by what happened to Pinocchio, and to their surprise, Pinocchio wakes up like he was sleeping. The general had a great idea to make Pinocchio a soldier and fight for Italy. Pinocchio loved the idea, but Geppetto hates the idea of war because war took his one and only child from him, and told him war took Carlo away from him. Geppetto called Pinocchio a burden because he don't obey his father. In the night, when Geppetto is asleep, Pinocchio write him a message and he says he will join the circus but not the military and make some money to help him. And he went back to the circus owner. His father found the cricket and the cricket told him how bad a father he is to Pinocchio. Feeling guilty, Geppetto went out to look for him but it's too late. They already left. Geppetto found a sailor and begged him to help him find his son. Now the circus owner's true color is revealed. He told Pinocchio that he doesn't have a choice but to work for him if he wants to send some money to his father. The monkey told the truth about the money business to Pinocchio during training. When his father and the sailor was sailing on the ocean, a monster fish came out and swallowed the ship. Later on the movie, we see Pinocchio finds the owner of the circus beating up the monkey because he told Pinocchio the truth. And Pinocchio jumped in to stop the owner and said he will quit working for him if he keeps doing what he was doing. And the owner threatens Pinocchio saying he is the slave and he will do everything that he told him to do. Inside the belly of the beast, Geppetto and the cricket are having the time of their lives. In Rome, Mussolini attends the circus show. Pinocchio and the monkey had an idea to ruin the owner. And when the show begins, Pinocchio starts singing bad things about Mussolini. That makes Mussolini mad, and he orders to kill the puppet and burn everything down. Pinocchio got shot in the head and sent back to the land of the dead. And the spirit sends him back again. When he wakes up he found himself in the general's truck with a bunch of kids heading up to the military camp. When they get there, the general orders the boys to split into two teams. In the center of the battlefield, there is a tower, and whoever place their flags at the top of the tower wins. The rifles are loaded with paint and the grenades are confetti, and they begin fighting. Pinocchio and the general's son were on the top together and they placed their flags on top. That made the general very angry. The general then pulls his gun out and orders his son to shoot Pinocchio. His son says no. When the father took the gun and points to the wooden boy, his son shoots him in his eyes with a paint gun. While they are fighting, an enemy plane arrives and bombs the camp and everybody in it. Pinocchio got tossed by the pressure of the bomb and land at the edge of the cliff, where he meets with the circus owner. The circus owner tied him on a piece of wood and tried to burn him, but the monkey helped Pinocchio and saved him. The monkey later pushed the owner to the ocean and they both end up in the ocean. But the owner lands on a piece of rock and dies immediately. The earthquake caused by the bombing make the rock break and Pinocchio jumps into the ocean. Pinocchio and the monkey, using a piece of wood to sail, saw an island. But when they got close, it is the monster that swallowed Geppetto and the ship. The monster swallows both the boy and the monkey, and Geppetto meets Pinocchio again. The cricket saw an opening through the nose and they escaped through that. Pinocchio got on a mine. The monster follows Pinocchio after they escape and swallows him, including the mine. Pinocchio saw that the monster is heading toward Geppetto, and he activated the mine and the monster blew up to pieces. And Pinocchio goes to the land of the dead once more. The spirit told him that now is not his time, so either he have to wait or break the rules and become mortal. Pinocchio breaks the rules so he can save Geppetto from drowning. And he saved him, but he lost his life. When Geppetto was crying, the spirit who granted him the life to Pinocchio showed up and asked the cricket what he wish. And he said to bring Pinocchio back, and the spirit brings back Pinocchio, and they lived happily ever after.